Testing 2 1 2, just making sure that this is correct. And welcome, happy holidays to my fellow gamers, seekers of personal growth. Welcome to a gamer's guide to productivity. Another episode where today we're not just going to be exploring the pixelated realms of our favorite games, aka in my case, League of Legends. We're going to be unlocking the real life power ups hidden within. I recently had the opportunity to achieve gold 2 as ADC, attack damage carry as Jhin in League of Legends, and it got me thinking, what if the skills we harness in games hold keys to leveling up in life? Now, this strictly applies to gamers. I'm not saying it doesn't apply to other fields and other areas of life. I'm speaking specifically to my gaming audience. What if the skills that we harness in the games hold the keys to leveling up in life? Well, if that is a question that you have pondered, join me on this journey as we bridge the gap between gaming strategies and real world success. This is not just a simple podcast or streaming, it's the roadmap to your personal development in the language of gaming, as I personally have wished somebody would have provided me this roadmap in a simple, gamified manner. So let's dive right in, okay? We're going to be talking about how success in the game can simply be attributed to how you perform in the game, how you think in the game. And if you're able to do that for a game, you're able to do that IRL in real life. So first we're going to just discuss about I finally got to gold 2, guys, okay? It took me a minute. This new season in League of Legends is very tough in solo queue. For those that are unaware, in League of Legends, you have the opportunity to essentially compete against other League of Legends individuals, and the more you compete, the more that you are ranked based upon your skill set, as well as how good or bad your teammates are. And sometimes you have terrible choices, you're given a terrible set of team, etc. Other times you're not even really having to do much. And I say that think about how a game is, and that's how honestly real life is going to be as well. If you're having difficulties with what you are given, life can be the same way. Some individuals start with an amazing team. They have everything set up. They don't even have to do anything. They can be throwing, they can be tilting, they can be doing any and everything wrong, and the team will still carry on. And other times you could be doing everything right and still you can be completely bad. Just to inform you, in my last 3 games, I went 17-5-15, 7-2-7, 21-4-13. For my League of Legends friends, those were monstrous numbers, especially in the gold 2 field. Now, I do want to point out, I did have one of my closest friends, Fred RTG, providing the critical feedback that I so lacked in my previous games. And I'm going to touch base upon how important it is to have not only a mentor, but also having an outside individual or providing a perspective for you, just to show you, as a go-to individual, I'm top 34% of League of Legends players. There's a lot of League of Legends players. So to be top 34%, I'm beyond honored. I'm going to keep it like that because I don't have the confidence to continuously be focusing myself on every second of the game, because it does sometimes take up to an hour, and I would rather take this opportunity to provide value and information to the audience. Okay, so those are some of this amazing successes that I've had in the last 3 games of ranked solo queue with Jhin. I live by the 4, I die by the 4. You know what I'm saying? And so, because of these small little accolades of success, as well as having some success IRL, being able to buy real estate, being able to have effective time management, having effective budgeting, and being able to manage a 9 to 5, being able to manage having life literally occur. I wanted to provide some possible information that somebody may utilize for their benefit as well. Okay. So these are just some personal accolades, some personal triumphs. Not the best. Okay. I'm not saying I'm the absolute best. I'm not amazing whatsoever. I'm just saying top 34% in League of Legends is amazing to me, especially because I've been hard stuck in silver for such a long time. For I think 5 or 6 years, I've been stuck in silver. And so to climb out of silver and now to potentially thrive in gold. Now, for those that are going to say, well, it's a little bit easier because now there's an emerald. Okay, I get it. I get it. Life is making it easy, but just like in real life, there's also inflation that is making money a little bit easier when in reality it doesn't really buy you more money. You just get a little bit more to spend. Okay, but that's just a topic for another day. Today we're going to be focusing strictly on the ability to level up your life through gaming, specifically how you utilize games to improve your life. Okay. So we're going to touch upon resiliency. Okay. Life has the ability to knock you down. So do games. When you die in League of Legends, you have a reset timer before you are alive again. Okay. I think that in life, it should not be any different. When you have a setback that comes at you in life, we should take that opportunity, that setback, to reset our focuses, to reset what should we truly be doing with the time that we are being given. What I absolutely despise when I see people playing is the moment they die, they completely start using their phone, they start doing something else, they get distracted, they don't focus. And then what ends up happening is that they miss critical information that occurs in the game that if they were paying attention, they could use that information, they could buy adequate items in the shop, and they could make the strategic moves that the team needs in order to help win. In life, when things happen outside of your control, we can only just control what we are capable of controlling, our reaction. We can't control other individuals. We can't control the outcomes. We can only control what we can do. If you are terminated from your employment, you can't control that they terminated you. All you can control is what are you going to do moving forward? Are you going to let that situation get a rise out of you? Are you going to go on social media and start writing nasty things? Are you going to start suing the company? Are you going to start doing terrible things, speaking poorly of the company, showing that they had a right reason to terminate you? Or are you going to take the higher ground, using that opportunity to elevate yourself, to improve yourself, get better skills, get better equipment, get what you needed to have done in that situation previously, and now making essentially the company regret their decision to terminate you? It's very important to not let any negativity really affect you and bog you down, first and foremost. Second, teamwork. As I mentioned, Fred RTG really was the backbone of those last 3 games. Again, I had monster games. I could have went deathless for 3 of those games, and I got very greedy and I did not go deathless. But I did have an amazing KDA. I had an amazing CS score. I was able to do everything the team needed of me in the right manner at the right time. And so having the right teammates at your side, having the right mentor, the right coach, having the right guidance, being able to uplift you in the moment of need, as well as being strict when you're getting too cocky, and having the ability to keep you level headed is so important. Because when you're in the game and you're making these decisions, yes, of course, there's no IRL consequences for you running it down. There's no big consequences. Yet when we're in, let's say, having a conversation with the supervisor and we're doing the same thing, it's like when you're playing a simulation game and you're pressing the wrong response button. If you do that too many times, you can terminate yourself, essentially. It's almost like dry snitching, where you're putting in negative information about yourself to your supervisor that does not need to be given. It's like when you're having a team fight. If you're an ADC, and you're way too far ahead, you're just asking for the assassin to decimate you in zero point 0.1 second, especially if fighting against the Zed. He's going to go towards the back line to come after you. So stay safe. Having a teammate that reminds you, hey, they have a Quiyana, they have a Zed, they have a Vagar. You need to be careful. Don't run too far ahead. Having important teammates enables you to be aware of that. Having an effective strategy. As an ADC, my job is just simply to deal damage. That is my strategy. Stay alive and deal as much damage as possible. Having the correct strategy coupled with the minuscule decisions enables you to make sure that your strategy gets executed in the effective time frame needed. If you can do this in the game, what makes it so different than doing it in real life? If you're just running it down every time you play a game and you don't have a set strategy, well, that might be why you're not able to make it past gold. And I'm not speaking for the players that are far superior to me. They might not be able to quantify or explain. And if they are, I would love to hear what they have to say. If you know of anybody that would love to explain these higher elo concepts in a much more precise manner, please feel free to put us in touch. I just truly believe that if you have a very solid strategy, you follow the correct decisions, your process are going to be able to be followed very seamlessly. And this can be applied in game as well as in real life. If you have a plan to, let's say, retire your family early, playing your life away is not going to do that unless you're Faker or somebody of that caliber. Then it makes complete and utter sense to keep honing your skills. If not, if you're like the remainder of the population, you need to be focusing on how the skills that you're cultivating today are going to be paying for the bills of tomorrow. That's a strategy that is lined up with constant and daily decisions. And that makes tangible sense. It makes logical sense. It doesn't make sense if you want to, let's say, make $100,000 a year, and yet you're only working 12 hours a week as a part time and not even having access to higher amounts of income or not even going to school, not planning, just simply living in the moment. It's not an effective strategy coupled with decision making actions. It doesn't line up that way. You must have the opportunity to have a strategy that gets the decisions with the actions that are all lined up and needs to click all in unison in order to have your strategy actually get executed. Now, you may have a strategy and the decisions are lining up correctly and it still doesn't work out towards the end. As I mentioned earlier, you may have an amazing game and still not have it be enough to win. Your strategy just might not be good enough. And yet, if you don't keep trying endlessly, repeatedly, and tweaking things over and over again, how would you know that your strategy is simply not good enough? You must keep trying. Don't give up. And then we come to community and networking. Very important because if in the last three games I didn't give Fred RTG the opportunity to join me as a party, then I might not have been able to have that 3 game win streak that took me from the bottom of gold 2. Now I'm 1 win away from gold 1. And then from gold 1, I'd be 4 wins away from being in the emerald ranks. It's very small progressions like this that shows why it's important to have a community or a network of individuals who also want something as similar as you do. It's important that we take care of these opportunities within our gaming world, as well as we can see how this can interconnect between the real life as well as the game life. Because again, as mentioned, there are maybe individuals that say that there is no connection whatsoever from your personal life, professional life, and gaming life. And I beg to differ. Because if you are able, because I'm not saying that there's not individuals who go a complete 180, because I've seen the farming simulators, I've seen flight simulators, I've seen different kinds of games. I'm speaking specifically to the individuals who live in according to how they play. I'm saying individuals who speak first, shoot first, ask questions later, and they play, top lane. They play berserkers. They play assassins. They dive in. They make an all in or nothing approach to life and everything that they do. I understand. I'm speaking to those individuals that when they play a game, you can just take a step back and you can almost psychoanalyze them and realize the way that they play, the way that they talk, the way that they act is very similar. And if that individual is listening to me now is not having a success, or somebody, a family member, sees that if a family member sees that somebody they know is like that, I would implore you to share this with them, subscribe, like, comment, so that way that they can be aware that they have the opportunity to succeed as long as they're willing to tweak a few things in their approach in life. Because if they can be successful in the game, what's stopping them from utilizing the same skills, the same hours that they were diving deep into the game? If you were able to get into the top 15, 20, 30% in the game, what's stopping you from being in the top 15, 20, 30% in a skill in real life? Oh, because somebody else has that same time and has a high skill set already? Isn't it the same in games? Somebody else started playing the game before you. Somebody else has endless hours. Somebody else has endless coaching. Somebody else has endless opportunities. And how are you going to react to that? Are you just going to call it quits because somebody else had access to more? You can just take one action today. You can take one opportunity, one action that's going to enable you to get one step closer to your dream. Rome was not built in a day, okay? It takes careful strategization. It takes amazing, or at least a disciplined amount of resiliency. It takes a structured strategy and effective community or networking. And it doesn't have to be in the same order. Some individuals like strategizing first, and then after strategizing, then they're willing to be resilient in the face of adversity. They're willing to find teammates, a community, a network of individuals that are going to help them push their strategy forward. And then when you have all these coupled together, it becomes easy to have the triumph in games as well as in life. I wasn't able to do the things that I was able to do just because I'm a genius. No, this took really, really, really hard work. It took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. My first job was working at Walmart, and I had minimum wage essentially. And I had the opportunity to see firsthand how to use gaming to be able to be effective at my job. And when I realized the better I got at my job, the easier it was to get better at the game. And so once I started recognizing that if I use the skill sets interchangeably, then I don't really have to pause when I'm getting better at something. In fact, I just have to almost resume, almost like when you're doing a specific RPG game and you're doing that specific skill over and over and over again, and you're gaining experience. In my case, why would we have to stop gaining experience because we changed an activity? Well, what if that activity is closely related to another activity? Wouldn't we slowly accrue experience? Now, I'm not saying because you know how to drive a car, now you immediately know how to, fly a plane. I'm saying if you know how to effectively manage your time, if you know how to effectively manage your creep score, your CS in League of Legends, if you know how to effectively manage the wave, if you know how to effectively manage the time it takes to get from the base to where the team fight is, where dragons are, why aren't you able to manage your time when you play a sport, let's say, or when you're on the clock at work? Why is it so difficult to manage your time then? It is a slightly different platform, but at the same time, if you have the skill sets of effective time management, you can easily and interchangeably take those skills apart and put them back together in a way that your brain would start to make it make sense. And if you can start to put a method to a madness that is yours and only uniquely yours, then you can easily gamify your world. You can gamify the things that you do, and then you can easily start seeing your actual triumphs, your successes. And then when you're facing adversity and when you're facing failures, you can be resilient. You can call upon your friends, your great teammates, mentors, and if you don't have one, comment down below. We'll get a conversation going and we'll see what we can do. And by we, I say me because this is a one man team. And I do want you to be aware that, as I mentioned, this is something that I really truly care about. I care about gamers who feel like they don't have the opportunity to get better at life, or they feel like they can only be good at games. I truly believe that that is false. You can be great at many things as long as you put your time, energy, and focus towards that. You can truly do that. I will be having other guests that are going to be providing much more of an insight, not only into how they got to be successful, as well as what steps they took. I'm going to be taking this into a much more serious role. So any and all engagement will truly be beneficial so others can see how impactful it is that gamers can actually be successful IRL. So thank you for joining me today on this epic quest. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, comment, subscribe because I want to provide more insider tips on merging gaming and personal development. So every time you hit that like or subscribe button, that is what you are stating to me that you would like to have much more of this content that provides value to those who are looking to merge gaming and personal development, as well as more guests that can provide much more of an insider insight. So don't forget to share this with others. Don't forget to share this with individuals who truly need to understand that their gaming skills are applicable, especially in today's economy where a lot of jobs are starting to go remote. Those gaming skills are going to start paying the bills. You know what I'm saying? And so, if you want to provide even much more of an engagement, let me know what games shaped your real world success. In my case, it's League of Legends and Sims. So, for you, what games shaped your real world success? It doesn't have to be strictly a video game either. Until next time, keep gaming, keep growing, and remember, life is the ultimate game. So let's level up together. Stay legendary, my friends. Take care. Be safe